BB, tag. You're it. Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight is a first for us because this is the very first time we have ever done a vinyl tag on this show. And it is courtesy of our buddy Xander over at Kiss Army Things. 2 weeks ago, he did a super fun 2024 Kiss vinyl tag talking Kiss vinyl records. And he created 10 tags himself, and they're really fun. And he opened it up to everyone in the Kiss community to do, and I thought I would take my shot at this vinyl tag. Again, never done this before, but it looks like a lot of fun. I'm sure every single one of you are aware of Kiss Army Things. Kiss Army Things has emerged as the be-all, end-all site for all Kiss information. Xander does some great work over on that channel with his wife and his brother Jeb, and they are the front runners of all things Kiss. If a new Kiss fan came up to me today and said, what channel should I watch? It would be Kiss Army Things. All day, all night, the best place for information, and Xander just has such a devotion and love for this band. It's contagious, and you cannot help but have fun watching Kiss Army Things. So if you do not watch them, I suggest you go right over, like, subscribe, follow, dive into their content. It is good stuff. And he is the creator of tonight's vinyl tag. So let's get right to it. The It's All For You Demon Kiss vinyl tag. And again, Xander from Kiss Army Things created all of these tags, and they are a lot of fun. The first up, Back to the Stoneage, the oldest pressing in your collection. Of course, that's probably going to be 1974 for all of us, unless somebody out there has a Wicked Lester demo on vinyl. And of course, mine being the debut record. And this is a copy without Kissin' Time. Now, this is where you start to dive into the weeds of Kiss vinyl collecting. As a good nerd, I label all of my Kiss records. And as you could see on that label, this is an album cover with no Kissin' Time. Right there on the back, side 2 begins with Deuce. Now, as I just mentioned, this is where you get into the weeds of vinyl collecting, because the actual vinyl itself is a blue Casablanca label, and there you see Kissin' Time is present with Deuce. So, obviously this copy I bought at Half Price Books for 50 cents was Frankensteined. But was it Frankensteined by the previous owner or a pressing plant? And the only reason I ask that, because in my mind it seems very odd for the previous owner to have two Casablanca blue label vinyl records and then mix match the actual vinyl. I'm thinking when Kissin' Time was added to the vinyl, they were using up sleeves that did not contain Kissin' Time. And so this vinyl has Kissin' Time, but the album jacket does not. That's just a hunch, but that is the weeds of vinyl collecting, because you get into pressing plants, you get into vinyls not matching jackets because there's more jackets than vinyls. It's a crazy mess, and it sometimes boggles my mind. Hence, I've never really gone down the pressing plant rabbit hole, but this jacket, at least, no Kissin' Time, is my oldest Back to the Stoneage vinyl. Next up we have This Is Your Last Chance, your latest addition into your Kiss vinyl collection, and mine would be the I Was Made for Lovin' You German single. I spoke about this a couple weeks ago in my Dynasty demos video, and I just love this cover because it's a 76 picture on a 79 album. How cool is that? Plus that glitter shot, that is just disco rock fun. I Feel So Good, I'm So Alive, your favorite Kiss Alive vinyl.
Many months later.
Alright.
Mine would be my Taiwan copy of Kiss Alive 2. This is just like a paper cover with that crazy Lemming Records logo in the corner. But what I love the most about this is the back of the album. The pictures are just blue and white. You okay down there? And then of course you have all the cool writing at the bottom. This is my absolute favorite and most bizarre copy of Kiss Alive. There is the center ring, and there is the center ring for the second album. And it's just oddities like this that make foreign vinyl collecting so much fun. Journey of 1,000 Years, your most beat up copy in your collection. Mine would be Creatures of the Night from Argentina. Criatus de la Noche. This Argentina records are so much fun because I guess the humidity and just, you know, production, it's not really there. So these are like very flimsy, tiny little pieces of cardboard, and they just get so beat up in that humidity, and it is so much fun. And I just love the alternate titles that you never even thought existed when you were a teenager. And the track listing, all in a foreign language. This thing smells like an old Playboy magazine and is super flimsy and just beat up and loved. Creatures of the Night from Argentina. And there's the center ring. And as a collector of Kiss, vinyl, toys, anything, I've never been one to have everything mint. In fact, I kind of like it beat up. I kind of like it played with. I kind of like it used. Because to me, non-mint means more fun. It means somebody out there in Argentina had a hell of a good time listening to Criatus de la Noche. And now, it is in the Wax Night house. And that makes my heart happy. That's Kisstory. That's Kiss fan history. And I love it. Under the Rose, your favorite copy of The Elder you own. Now Xander showed his Japan pressing. I was also going to do the same, but then I thought, you know what? My favorite copy of The Elder I own is the copy I bought in high school. And the reason I like it so much is because the record is not with this jacket. And that is because when I was in high school, I wasn't really thinking. And I thought, hey, it'd be fun to hang this plastic bag and the record on my wall. And I did that with Scotch tape. And then I noticed that the record was kind of too heavy for the bag with Scotch tape, so I put it up with thumbtacks, which tore little holes in every corner of this plastic inner sleeve. But I love it because soon after I framed it, and this album has remained in this frame since I was in high school. So for 32 years until I got the Japan pressing of The Elder, I have not been able to play The Elder because The Elder has been in this frame, and it will be in this frame probably until I die and my wife sells off the collection. So there you have it. Don't ruin your Kiss items with Scotch tape and thumbtacks, kids, but go ahead and do it. You know, why not? Because there may be somebody else out there like me who likes things not meant and likes things loved, and this copy of The Elder has been loved. So do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. I'm a 2000 man, a record in your collection released after 2000. Mine would be Off the Soundboard, Iowa. And we're once again gonna have Do What Makes You Happy, because anytime a new album is released with a hype sticker, I take the hype sticker off the shrink wrap and put it actually on the cover. Am I ruining the vinyl? Am I ruining the jacket? Who knows? But I'm doing what makes me happy. And this album makes me happy for 3 reasons. It reeks of Kiss Alive 2, Phantom of the Park fun. It totally reminds me of Halloween. And this show in Iowa was one night after Kiss played here in Kansas City at Kemper Arena. And a few of my friends went to that show and have told me stories of that show. Our buddy Jerry Nibel bought a Gene Simmons Alive 2 poster at that show, but he had to leave early because there was an ice storm heading down and his dad was a truck driver by trade and knew they needed to get the hell out of the arena and back home before that ice storm hit. And one night later, this was recorded, and this is my favorite new pressing into the collection. I Believe in Me, your best copy of the solo albums, and I'm kind of going to cheat on this a little bit. Of course, my favorite solo album, Gene Simmons, hands down. Second favorite, Peter Criss. Third favorite, Paul Stanley. Fourth favorite, Ace. But for my vinyl tag, I am going to include some solo album 45s that I had a lot of fun collecting. And they are the Pie 45s that came with the Halloween mask inside. And you can see each sleeve states that they come with a free mask inside. And then of course the back advertises all 4 solo albums. You have Gene, red vinyl, Peter, green vinyl, Ace, blue vinyl, and Paul, purple vinyl. And there's the back ring of the B-side. Everyone, of course, has their own picture on the front side. But what was so fun about this was finding versions with all the masks. And I have since framed the mask, and of course Ace took the longest to get into the collection. Ace is a horrible one for me to collect. Anytime I'm trying to complete a collection of all 4, be it solo album belt buckles, Halloween costumes, Ace is always the hardest to come by. I don't know if more people keep Ace or more people threw away Ace. I'm assuming more people keep Ace, and of course we know there's probably more Gene and Paul made than the other 2, just from what we've heard of the Kiss marketing machine back then. But these Pie masks are super fun. They're just paper masks. This was a super fun goal to meet, and I met it. And this is my favorite solo album vinyl. The cheapest stuff is all you need, the best deal you've ever gotten on a record, and this was a day that will live in my heart forever. I was beside myself. And it is this, the Kiss Alive 2 misprint, with my receipt from the record store I bought it at. And here you can see the misprint track listing, including Take Me, Hooligan, and Do You Love Me. And of course, those track listings are not present on the record. And of course, the main joy or glee in all of this is the receipt where I bought the misprint Alive 2. I probably looked like I was robbing the store. When I saw it, my jaw hit the floor. I grabbed the record and I held it so tight under my arm. I looked like I was up to something mischievous. I know I had to, but I was not going to get out of the store without this record. It was one of those Powerball wins that you never think you will find that mythical record in a record bin. Now, we know these records are out there by the dozens. There is way more of this misprint than anyone ever believes. So, it is very possible for anyone to find a Kiss Alive 2 misprint. But what makes my heart sing was I bought it for $15. The receipt stays with the record, and this is one of my favorite Kiss days ever. I took a flight to Tokyo, your favorite Japan pressing in your collection, and I could not get away from a video without speaking of my pride and joy, Dynasty. So tonight, for this, we're going to look at 2 Japan pressing Dynasties. First we have the 79 Japan Dynasty with the red obi. What we know as the inner sleeve in the US is a booklet in Japan with all of the Japanese writing inside and the poster. And then we have the 1980 Polystar reissue. A Polystar logo on the back obi and all of the albums on the back. It's fun because it's 1980, goes up to Unmasked. And of course, the booklet. You can read the lyrics to Magic Touch in Japanese. To me, anything Japan is fun because of the obi, and this is a lot of fun because the obis are completely contrasting colors, and I love that. It looks super cool in your collection, and it's Dynasty, so it's gotta be in the Wax Night house. Lastly, tugging at my Dynasty heartstrings again, I Was Made for Lovin' You, your favorite record in your collection now. There's so many fun ones in your collection. It's hard to choose a favorite, so I went with this Revolver De Amor. And I can smell this thing from here. This smells like a Playboy magazine your dad had when you were a kid, or in your grandpa's den, because this is a Argentina pressing, totally beat up, totally worn, totally flimsy, but this album set me down the foreign pressing rabbit hole. And I love that rabbit hole. I've said this so many times, but I love that rabbit hole because when I was 19 years old, collecting that back catalog on CD, I had no idea that there was Love Gun copies out there called Revolver De Amor. And that absolutely warms my heart. I just love that. I love the track listing on the back in a different language. And these Argentina pressings again are so flimsy and so worn and so beat up by the humidity and the storage. It's just fun to get. And when it arrives in the mail and you smell that 1977 Argentina fun in a Love Gun record, it becomes your favorite pressing in your collection. Just look at that. Grabado in record plant. Escribe to the Kiss Army fan mail. You don't get that kind of fun from a US pressing. You only get that kind of fun from foreign pressings. And it is a wonderful rabbit hole to go down. And speaking of wonderful, this was a wonderful vinyl tag. So thank you to Xander and Kiss Army Things for putting this out, and to the Kiss fandom universe. This was a lot of fun. If you collect Kiss vinyl and would also like to play, please make a video of your list and put it out there for us all to have fun watching everyone's Kiss vinyl collection, their favorite pieces, their most odd pieces, their cheapest pieces. And that, my friends, is the fun of being a Kiss fan. Pee-wee, in Spanish, you, like Revolver De Amor, are called PP. Thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Wax Night House. Thank you, Xander, for this incredible idea and fun, and thank you for letting us share in it. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip, take care, be safe. PP says we will talk to you soon.